They virtually offered me the role that day. They said, you're perfect. What you're doing is absolutely what we want. So it was just an odd sort of hand-in-glove moment of my classic theater background training me to approach the character completely with no preconceptions and just make the right acting choice that day. But as it evolved, it turned out to be a great relationship. I work wonderfully with Bruce and Paul, and Andrea and I, we've all become very close friends. And we just work great together, and we inspire each other, and Andrea likes to get actors in the room together. So, and a lot of people also don't understand that we get the scripts first. So it's not like a radio play, because the actors feed off each other. So there'll be 6 or 8 of us in this large recording room together. And Mark Hamill and Adrian Barbeau or Paul Williams or Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., the original cast, Bob Hastings, will all be in there feeding off each other. And so this crazy kind of energy would get going in the room, and especially between Mark Hamill and myself. We'd just feed on each other and get each other going, and we would go wild in there. So these recording sessions, word kind of got out after a while that they were incredible and they were a blast to be in, and so everyone wanted to be on the show. And Andrea said, you know, she was getting requests from everyone, from all these agents, all these actors, everyone wanted to come in and do Batman episodes. So the cast was extraordinary. If you look at who was on that original show, they had anyone they wanted, they were getting. So it was a wonderful experience that I'm just so lucky to have been a part of.
And I think I'm not sure many people know this too, but even when you're doing the Bruce Wayne and Batman characters, those early episodes, you had to go back and even just re-record some of it, just finding the tone of the character, or even.
Well, it was my idea originally. I said to them, you know, because I was approaching this character fresh. I said, look, let me get this straight. He's the richest guy in Gotham. He's the sexiest, most eligible bachelor. Everybody knows this guy. He's the, you know, he's the guy in town. And he puts on a mask and no one knows it's him. I said, seriously? I mean, I don't believe it. Will anyone else believe it?
Here, watch this.
Yeah. You'd never recognize him, right? So I said, let me, you know, be an actor. Let me try doing a different voice. Let me try really making it more convincing. So that's when I came up with the different Bruce Wayne and Batman voices, and it worked great. But initially, early on, I did Bruce Wayne as a real playboy, really a lot of sarcasm. I used sort of David Niven as my visual. Very, very urbane, very sophisticated, lots of humor, and they wrote a lot of humor for me. So there was a big difference between Batman and Bruce Wayne initially. But as they came back from the artist, they realized since they were painting it on a black background, the stories were very noir. It looked really dark. It was kind of jarring when suddenly Bruce Wayne would come in and you'd have this light kind of comedic character. It was too light. So they had me actually go back and re-record the first about 6 shows just to darken the Bruce Wayne voice a little bit, just to bring down the distinction a little bit. And then over time they had me even bring it down more, so that ultimately in the later, like Justice League, the later evolutions of the character, the distinction is pretty subtle. I thought the earlier distinction was a lot more fun, but that's just an actor, you know, liking to play different roles. They just thought that it was a little too jarring, given the dark palette of the show.
And Mike, talk a little bit about what Andrea Romano brings in, because we're talking about the history of DC animation. So you think about all these projects, regardless of whether Kevin's doing the voice of Batman or Tim Daly's doing the voice of Superman, you have all these different actors, but there's one consistent thread that kind of weaves through all of these different things. That's Andrea Romano. Talk about what she brings to all of this and why this just makes us love DC animation.
Well, the thing that's great about Andrea is that you even know who she is. Most voice directors on video games or animation or whatever, you've never heard of them.
Right.
This is a testament to fans, is that they paid attention to the credits, and they actually give credit to who's doing whatever job. And obviously on video extras or on panels, Andrea is a personality. But what I've noticed just from watching her in action with these guys is that they completely trust her.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever she says is a good idea, even if it's not the choice that's used in the final animation. They may go with what the actor did first, but she's always worth listening to and trying to.
Well, Andrea started as an actress. She studied to be an actress in the theater, and it just, you know, she's one of these people that starts in one way and ends up in another. So she understands how actors think, and she respects actors. A dirty little secret in the business is that a lot of people don't like actors. They think we're spoiled, they think we're narcissists, they think we're overpaid, they resent actors. But a lot of people really love actors. And to work with someone who understands you and loves you, it just, you know, there's so much trust there. They get such a better performance out of you. And actors know that Andrea loves them. And she knows how, if you tell an actor, no, say it like this, and you give a line reading, it's the fastest way to get the line reading, but it'll be empty. Because all you'll ever get is that person mimicking you. As hard as they try not to, all they'll do is mimic you. But if you say, no, think about where you're coming from. Think about what this guy did to your family. Think about how you're driven to this. Think about the number of years you've wanted to get there. And then you come out with that rage. It's organic. It comes from something. They've given you the thoughts behind it. And then it's real. Andrea knows how to talk to actors. She knows how to guide you to the reading she wants without giving you the line reading.
That's funny because the first 35 years that I was in the business and working for DC, I was editing comics, and for me, what I noticed in a good editor was that they made themselves the person that the writers and artists wanted to do a good job for. It was like their personal success if the editor said, oh, this is amazing, this is great. And I think, and just in the last 5 years that I've been watching the DC animation, Andrea is somebody who you guys want her to say, oh, that was great, or that, oh, I never would have thought of that. And it's all about this, it's the trust, but it's also a loyalty almost too. She builds up a loyalty. She's got a lot of people who will work for her. Now, the other secret about voices in animation, not just actors, is that it doesn't pay as much as you would think it would pay. So, well, the thing is, I know they
want them to think we're really rich.
No, we don't.
Bruce Wayne rich.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne rich. That's why you can be David Niven whenever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But the reality is that a lot of people will work for what the animation can afford, just because they get a chance to work with their pal, Andrea, again. She's got, it's not even favors, it's just fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And Mike, we think about casting too, which